Having a strong mind is super important for how well you do in life. It's like a secret power that helps you keep going, even when things get tough. Mental strength is what helps you tackle problems, stick to your goals, and face challenges with determination, especially when talent and skills alone aren't enough. This video is all about key ideas in Buddhism and how they relate to 10 habits that secretly weaken your mind. If we learn and apply these teachings, we can start a journey toward a stronger, more resilient mind, one that can bounce back from tough times and stay focused, even in the face of struggle. Habit number 1. Having a negative mindset. A negative mindset is like a heavy cloud that blocks the bright sun of our inner happiness. It's a habit that weakens the mind by coloring everything in life with shades of gloom and despair. When we constantly focus on the bad, we miss out on the good happening around us. It's like wearing dark glasses. Even the most beautiful moments seem dull. Over time, negativity becomes our reality. We start believing that success and happiness are out of reach, and this belief holds us back. Fear takes over, stopping us from taking chances, trying new things, or moving forward. Buddhism teaches that our thoughts are like passing clouds. They come and go, but they don't define us. Through mindfulness, we can step back and observe these thoughts without letting them control us. Instead of drowning in negativity, we acknowledge it, let it pass, and shift focus to the present. Another powerful practice is loving-kindness meditation, metta, which helps us replace negativity with warmth, compassion, and gratitude. Buddhism also teaches impermanence. Everything changes, including our struggles. No hardship lasts forever. When we truly understand this, we stop clinging to negative thoughts, knowing that even the darkest moments will pass. By embracing these teachings, we break free from negativity, develop resilience, and build a stronger, more peaceful mind. Habit number 2. Complaining about things outside your control. Complaining about things we can't control is like holding on to a hot coal. It only burns us. The more we complain, the more we reinforce negativity, sinking deeper into frustration and helplessness. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The harder we struggle, the deeper we go. This habit weakens the mind because it shifts our focus to problems instead of solutions, making us feel powerless. Buddhism teaches impermanence. Everything is always changing. When we complain, we act as if problems are permanent, forgetting that they too will pass. Instead of resisting reality, we can practice acceptance, like learning to dance in the rain instead of cursing the storm. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means focusing on what we can control. A key Buddhist principle is letting go. Holding on to frustration is like gripping a rope tightly. It only causes pain. By releasing the need to control the uncontrollable, we lighten our mental burden. Instead of complaining, we redirect our energy toward taking action where we have power. We shift from a passive mindset to an active, problem-solving approach. By embracing these teachings, we free ourselves from the mental drain of constant complaints and develop the resilience needed to face life's challenges with strength and clarity. Habit number 3. Not expressing yourself. Not expressing yourself is like having a treasure chest but keeping it locked away. When we hold back our thoughts and emotions, we create inner pressure, like shaking a soda can until it's ready to explode. This habit weakens our minds because it disconnects us from others and traps us in our own thoughts, leading to stress, anxiety, and misunderstandings. Buddhism teaches the importance of right speech, communicating with truth, kindness, and mindfulness. Our words are like seeds. If we plant negativity, we grow disconnection. But if we speak with sincerity and compassion, we cultivate understanding and trust. Expressing ourselves openly yet wisely strengthens our relationships and our mental well-being. Another key teaching is mindfulness, which helps us become aware of our feelings without judgment. It's like a mirror reflecting our inner world, allowing us to understand what we truly want to express. This awareness makes it easier to communicate with clarity and confidence. Self-expression isn't just about words. It includes body language, tone, and presence. Even unspoken emotions can be felt, like an unlit candle in a dark room. By learning to express ourselves openly yet mindfully, we remove emotional blockages and create space for authenticity, connection, and inner peace. Habit number 4. Blaming others for your problems. Blaming others for our problems is like trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks. It weighs us down and keeps us from moving forward. This habit weakens our minds because it takes away our power. When we blame others, we give control over our lives to external forces, making ourselves feel like victims instead of creators of our own destiny. It's like handing the steering wheel of our life to someone else and wondering why we're not going in the right direction. Buddhism teaches personal responsibility through the concept of karma, the idea that our actions, thoughts, and choices shape our reality. When we blame others, we ignore our role in shaping our circumstances. But by taking responsibility, we regain control and open the door to change. It's like shifting from being a passenger in life to becoming the driver. Another key Buddhist teaching is self-reflection. Instead of pointing fingers, we turn inward and ask, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. It's like polishing a mirror. When we remove the dust of blame, we see ourselves more clearly and understand how to improve. Blaming others also prevents us from solving problems. Instead of looking for solutions, we stay stuck in frustration. But by focusing on what we can control, we develop resilience. It's like fixing a leaking boat, instead of just complaining that we're getting wet. By embracing responsibility and self-reflection, we free ourselves from the weight of blame and cultivate a mindset of growth, strength, and accountability. Habit number 5. Fantasizing instead of visualizing. Fantasizing instead of visualizing is like building castles in the air, beautiful but without a solid foundation. This habit weakens our minds because it disconnects us from reality, making us chase illusions rather than taking real steps toward our goals. It's like staring at a treasure map, but never actually setting off on the journey. The teachings of Buddhism shed light on why this habit makes us mentally weak, and how we can shift from empty fantasies to meaningful visualization. Fantasies often involve unrealistic expectations, like hoping for success without putting in the effort. It's like expecting a tree to grow without planting the seed. When we get lost in fantasies, we avoid reality, leading to disappointment when life doesn't match our dreams. Visualization, on the other hand, is a powerful tool rooted in right intention and right action, key principles in Buddhism. It's like carefully charting a course on a map and taking real steps to reach our destination. Instead of just imagining success, we align our thoughts and actions to make it happen. Another key Buddhist teaching that helps shift from fantasy to visualization is impermanence, the understanding that everything is constantly changing. Fantasizing often involves clinging to an ideal future, while visualization adapts to life's shifting nature. It's like riding a wave instead of trying to control the ocean. By embracing impermanence, we stay flexible and resilient, adjusting our goals as life unfolds. To break free from the habit of fantasizing, mindfulness becomes essential. Mindfulness is like putting on glasses that help us see the present moment clearly. Instead of getting lost in daydreams, we stay grounded, appreciating where we are while actively working toward where we want to be. By shifting from fantasy to focused visualization, we transform wishful thinking into intentional action. Instead of drifting aimlessly, we take control of our path, fostering a strong and determined mindset that turns dreams into reality. Habit number 6, not making time for personal relationships. Neglecting personal relationships weakens the mind because humans need meaningful connections for emotional support and stability. When we ignore relationships, we create loneliness, misunderstandings, and emotional isolation, making it harder to handle life's challenges. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of compassion and connection. When we don't make time for the people who matter, we lose the chance to strengthen bonds that provide emotional security. Over time, distance grows, making it difficult to rebuild those connections. One Buddhist principle that helps is presence, fully engaging with others when spending time together. Being present allows for deeper conversations and stronger relationships, rather than just going through the motions. Right speech is another key teaching, encouraging open and honest communication, which prevents misunderstandings and strengthens trust. Buddhism also teaches impermanence, reminding us that time with loved ones is limited. We often assume we'll always have another chance to connect, but relationships, like everything else, change. Appreciating this reality motivates us to prioritize the people who matter before it's too late. To break this habit, we must consciously make time for relationships, even in a busy schedule. Quality matters more than quantity. Small moments of genuine connection, listening attentively, checking in, and showing appreciation can make a huge difference. Strong relationships build emotional resilience, making the mind more stable, supported, and prepared for life's ups and downs. Habit number 7. Letting your emotions rule you. Letting emotions rule us weakens the mind. When we let our emotions take the wheel, we lose control, and life feels chaotic. Instead of responding thoughtfully, we react impulsively. Buddhism teaches that this disconnects us from clarity and peace of mind, making it harder to navigate through challenges. The Buddhist practice of mindfulness helps us become aware of our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's about observing our feelings from a distance, like standing by a river and watching it flow, instead of getting swept away by the current. By practicing mindfulness, we can stop being victims of our emotions and choose how we react. Emotional intelligence is another key teaching. Recognizing and understanding our emotions allows us to manage them rather than be controlled by them. When we don't manage our emotions, it's like sailing a boat in a storm without an anchor. Everything feels out of control. But by developing emotional intelligence, we gain the ability to steer our reactions with clarity and intention. The more we practice these principles, the more we can create a stable foundation. Mindfulness and self-awareness give us the tools to respond thoughtfully, instead of letting emotions dictate our actions. By breaking the habit of letting emotions rule us, we create mental strength and become more resilient, able to face life's challenges with calm and clarity. Habit number 8. Not setting boundaries. Not setting boundaries weakens our mental strength. When we don't set clear limits, we allow others' demands and expectations to control us. This can lead to burnout, resentment, and a lack of self-respect. Buddhism teaches that boundaries are essential for maintaining inner peace and balance. Without boundaries, it's like trying to fill a cup that already has water spilling over. There's no space for your own needs. In Buddhism, self-care is not selfish. It's about honoring ourselves and understanding that we have limits. By setting boundaries, we communicate our needs and preserve our energy. This doesn't mean being harsh or unkind, but recognizing that we cannot give our best if we're constantly drained. Buddhist teachings on compassion show us that we can say no with kindness. By doing this, we protect our energy while also respecting others. Setting boundaries isn't about rejecting people, but rather about creating space to protect our mental and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries also allows us to practice mindfulness. It helps us become aware of where our energy is being spent and how we can prioritize our own needs without guilt. By developing this practice, we can reclaim our time, avoid overcommitting, and cultivate stronger, more respectful relationships. Breaking the habit of not setting boundaries allows us to maintain mental clarity, create healthy relationships, and respect ourselves. It's about knowing that we are worthy of space and peace in our own lives. Habit number 9. Fearing change. Fearing change weakens our mental resilience. Change is inevitable, yet we often resist it because it brings uncertainty and discomfort. This habit limits our growth and keeps us stuck in old patterns, even when they no longer serve us. Buddhism teaches us that impermanence is a fundamental truth of life. Everything is constantly changing, and resisting it only causes suffering. When we fear change, it's like trying to hold on to a leaf in a windstorm. We waste energy trying to prevent what's naturally happening. In Buddhism, we learn that embracing change with an open heart leads to greater peace and adaptability. Change isn't something to fear, but something to understand and flow with. Buddhism encourages us to cultivate detachment, not in a cold, indifferent way, but in a way that frees us from clinging to what we know. By letting go of attachments, we make space for new opportunities, growth, and experiences. Change becomes an opportunity, not a threat. Mindfulness helps us stay grounded in the present, allowing us to face change without anxiety. It teaches us that change can be a teacher, showing us where we need to grow or adapt. Embracing change doesn't mean giving up on who we are. It means becoming the best version of ourselves in response to life's natural flow. By breaking the habit of fearing change, we unlock our potential for growth and transformation. We stop resisting the inevitable and instead move with life, embracing the wisdom that comes from each new experience. Habit number 10. Overthinking. Overthinking weakens the mind by trapping us in a loop of endless analysis without action. It's like being stuck in a maze with no exit, going in circles but never making progress. Buddhism teaches that overthinking arises from attachment, specifically attachment to thoughts, outcomes, or control. We fear uncertainty, so we try to control every scenario in our minds. But in doing so, we create unnecessary suffering. When we overthink, we lose touch with the present moment, and life becomes something we analyze rather than experience. Buddhism emphasizes the power of presence and awareness. By being mindful, we can observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. Instead of overthinking, we learn to respond with clarity and intuition. In Buddhism, there's a concept called right action. It's about acting from a place of inner wisdom, rather than paralyzing ourselves with constant worry about what might happen. Overthinking keeps us from taking action, and without action, there's no movement, no progress. The twist here is this: overthinking isn't just a habit of the mind. It's also a symptom of not trusting the present. When we stop overthinking, we start trusting that life unfolds exactly as it's meant to, without needing to control every detail. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present, we can let go of the need to overanalyze and allow things to unfold naturally. Breaking free from overthinking gives us the power to move with confidence, take clear action, and embrace the flow of life without fear or hesitation. It's about letting go of the mind's endless chatter and tuning into the wisdom of the moment.